It's a hot night. No, it's not. It's actually pretty cold out. What's up, everybody, wrestling fans? It's the Joe Cronin Show, AEW Dynamite review. You're here because you're wet in the chat right now. We also got Jake DeMarco heading over here on his way. So he's back tonight. Plenty to talk about tonight, too. What a show tonight. This is nice. Finally, a wrestling show that doesn't make me just want to end it all. So nice to have one of those, isn't it? Nice to have a show that makes you somewhat happy. Cry. I hear your answer. What's up, chat? How you doing? It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Jake DeMarco's gonna take out his private parts tonight. He's gonna take them all out. Unlike Brody Lee, ladies and gentlemen, he is alive! What a tribute tonight.
It's good, ladies and gents.
It was a nice Brody tribute tonight again. You know, it's good to keep being sad.
I was really hoping that they went ahead and let 10 go ahead and get the win here tonight.
What?
I honestly, because of how much he meant to Brody, and
did he really mean something to Brody?
Oh yeah, Brody was the one that brought him in.
I'm kidding. I mean,
no, but I'm just saying. Like I thought it would have been, and you know what though, they sold it like he could win, and that's something that I never believed once with Rich Swann.
Yeah, that was pretty funny the other night. It was like even his own announcers were against him.
Everybody was against him. Even Tony Khan has been rooting against Kenny Omega for everything until that match. That took me out of it instantly. I was dying laughing, but still a good match. Rich Swann was dead about 3/4 of the way through it, so Kenny had to just keep dragging him. But
I couldn't tell if that was planned or something. I was like,
no, I think he was just blown up at that point, because I watched it back and he just looks like he's out of breath. But I really wanted that feel-good moment tonight. I did indeed. I was hoping for it. And it's still face versus face, so it has that odd dynamic. But it was a great main event, no doubt. Darby has a certain style of match that he wrestles, and it's very typical, but at least you're getting something entertaining, no doubt. And that was pretty much the theme of the night. We got very, very, very good wrestling tonight. And some of the best promos I've seen in a long time.
The promos were the story for me. That was crazy. Like, thank God those promos are good. Like, I mean, dude, what I saw MJF and the Pinnacle do. Oh. Sir Huggingtons, what's going on?
Jericho's promo got me here. Great to see you back, Jake.
Well, see, that's the thing. Sir Huggingtons. What's crazy? So let's just go right into that really quickly. What's crazy about that
was great.
What's crazy is that the Pinnacle MJF cut a promo that was so damn good it was crazy, and I thought, okay, Jericho's gonna come back with, well, we'll see what happens, you jackass, when we beat your ass at the thing, and I'm like, that's basically gonna be it, right? MJF just cut a 9 or an 8 out of 10 promo on him, and Jericho's
and they did the smartest thing ever. No Hager promo, no Wardlow promo. No, they knew what they were doing. They were very smart with that.
Well, I just couldn't believe how good MJF's promo was, and then how good. I want to say that Jericho. I didn't think he could rebuttal that. I was like, well, that's going to be very hard. And I know he's Jericho, right? I know he's
Jericho. He's like, I'll take that heavy burden that is the crown off your head. Your spot is mine. And Jericho goes right into it. He's like, you self-righteous little prick. And I'm like, oh, there we go. He's like, just because you had a trust fund from your mommy and daddy doesn't mean that you've earned anything ever. If you want a spot, you've got to earn this. And it was just so good. He's like, yeah, I was curtain jerking WCW, but guess what? I was damn proud of it. And I main evented, and he lists off, countries around the world. And it was just like, damn, this is building up nicely.
Yeah.
Up until this promo, there really wasn't much intrigue for me to this match, because it felt like everything they had was kind of settled up until this point.
Really? What do you mean?
Yeah, to me, we saw the attack happen. We saw the counter attack, and then we saw their tag match, and it just kind of felt like, all right, they won. Jericho's got, he got the beat down, and they got their revenge, and it just kind of felt like, all right, that's it with it. But
well, I don't know if it was. I don't think it was.
It wasn't supposed to come across that way, but that's just how it felt to me.
I didn't feel it was settled, but you're right in a way that
it just to me had no more interest. It was like the heels had been conquered.
No, I think it's just
the Pinnacle, your brand new big group had gotten the crap kicked out of them.
I think
twice
it's
at this point.
I think it's an ongoing thing. It's like, you do this, we do that. You do this, we do that. It's all going to lead to a big match. So tonight was actually perfect. Like, we did this, you did that. We did this, you do that. Well, tonight we cut great promo on you. And wow, and then you cut great promo right back, and we keep going, and it's like, okay, but you're right. This was the promo.
This was really everything.
This sold the fight.
The match. This made the entire feud worthwhile. And I'll give it to Sean Spears. The only thing that this was missing to make this like an upper echelon
was
promo,
his penis coming out live on TV.
Well, besides, we saw him in his underwear last time. Remember?
Oh,
he had what's his name's face all over his underwear, but still. Blanchard, and poor Tully. But I so wish that we got the 10 hands from Sammy Guevara. I wish he looked at Ty. I know some people, but I was waiting for that. So he cut into good old Ty Dillinger so great there, that Sean Spears didn't know what to say. I loved everything that Sammy Guevara had to say, and he showed some serious guts, pun intended, by volunteering to go first and take the disadvantage. That's a true face. I love that
he had a nice promo.
But that's the thing. Every one of them did. For me to come back, I'm glad I came back on this show, because holy cow, it was a great tennis match, back and forth and back and forth. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, they both nailed it. Cash going ahead and saying, tell your children you're not coming home. Like, he was getting emotionally deprived with it and crazy. Like, everything about this was excellent. It was that upper echelon promo that we don't get to have.
I'm going to crap on that. I'm going to crap on that, though.
Every single one of them.
I'm going to crap on that. Tell your kids you're not coming home. I thought was pretty generic, but
I thought it worked from Uncle Dax. I mean, he sold it.
I mean, I've heard that a million times.
They sold the delivery of it, of getting pissed. One stayed calm, and then Ortiz was like irate. So
I honestly think that comment there would be no "let's calm you down now." There would be an immediate attack after that comment. But that's why I didn't that part. I honestly, it's funny. I didn't like that part. I thought, but that's okay, because they weren't MJF and Jericho are the focal points. So, them having that generic, like, I'm going to tell your kids you're not coming home. Okay, yeah, everybody says that, like, all the time.
Yeah, but I liked what they had to say, honestly, and saying how, I hope you don't bring basically the pussified versions that you are now to Blood and Guts was pretty damn spot on. And like you said, everything with MJF was great. He's like, oh, I'm gonna say thank you to Jericho. I've thanked you before, and that's all you ever wanted to hear is those two words, thank you. There would be no AEW without you. And you're the draw, and you're the bridge that has fans come and check out AEW. And I can't imagine the pressure that you feel every time you come out here. You have to put your body on the line every time. And he's like, but guess what? He's like, you must be so tired. I can tell, because your eyes are bloodshot and you look exhausted. And he just really gets into Jericho's head here, I thought. But then Jericho had that great rebuttal talking about he didn't care about curtain jerking because he was all over the world. And the Inner Circle is day one. They're a family. The Pinnacle, you've only been together a short time.
Yeah.
You made Sammy quit, but that'll never happen again. And you're never going to make us submit, because you're going to have to kill us in order to win. So it was a hell of a promo. Great, like a rap battle format, tit for tat. I loved what they had here. And I'm glad that they knew to cut their losses with Hager and Wardlow. Honestly, I think that would have ruined it. So they were smart to just have them be the tough guys.
Yeah, just let them stare at each other and eat their own ass. It was really a great promo, really a great thing. And I was already happy at that point when they got to that. Like, when they came to that segment, I was already happy. Now, let's start back at the beginning but with Hangman's match, but let's go to a donation first.
Yeah, let's hear from the audience.
Shit bomb! Whoa!
You become
I did not see that coming.
a shit bomb.
Soundwave, $50.
What
Holy
a
hell.
great show tonight. The Bucks looked ready to go on a night at a gay strip club.
Ooh.
The promos tonight were phenomenal, especially between the Pinnacle and Inner Circle was fantastic. Overall 8/10. Got the taste of Raw out of our mouths.
Yes, thank God this was really a good show tonight.
We needed it. Everybody did, because NXT was good last night from what I saw, but
Really?
it wasn't great.
I actually didn't see it, but I did see people like shitting on it. Like
It was good. It's building for in their 2 week as well. Like in 2 weeks they have the women's title match. They're building towards a lot at this point in time too. So
okay. I didn't see it, so I don't know. Adam Cole cut a great promo as well. Kyle O'Reilly was actually watching it at the end, so that was a good little twist on it. And there was a few good matches and whatnot, but nothing incredible throughout the night. So some more stuff with the Way and Shotzi, and that kind of stuff. Ember Moon being blamed for the flowers. And I got to bring this up. This happened earlier because he actually donated while the show while we weren't on the air. Royal Thomas earlier said, I can give a promo about my butt tasting like jelly, but if there is no peanut butter, it doesn't matter. Basically, Royal Thomas was saying he didn't like the show tonight, and everybody was like, but what about those promos? And he was like, I don't give a shit about promos. Now, some people thought he was trolling, but Royal Thomas has been around a while, and I guess he's saying here, like basically trying to say, like, hey, I'm not trolling. Like, I really just didn't like it. So I don't... I don't know what you didn't... I don't know what rating he would give it. Like, if he says he didn't like it, he'd give it a 5 out of 10. Like, I guess...
I could see
understand that. Yeah.
But I wouldn't go lower than...
Yeah,
I couldn't even really see a 5 at this point, but I mean, maybe... Well, because there was a lot of stylistic things tonight. So I will say that. There was a heavy stylized... set of matches. There was a heavy, lucha presence, and there were the Young Bucks typical style, so a lot of things like that. And unfortunately, that might turn some viewers away. It's one of those things that's not for everyone, but we'll see how that works. Same thing with you have the lucha style meeting Orange Cassidy. That's really like a mashup that's quite altered and a weird state to be in. And it ended up being a very good match, no doubt. But if you're not a fan of pockets or any type of lucha match, it's not going to be worth it for you. So
hey, Jake, you got 2 eyes again. People are saying.
I know, right? I'm not a pirate anymore. Thankfully, my left eye, the more I rested it, the more it healed. It's not back to full working capacity, but it's getting there.
Let me shoot a load in it. I think I can fix it.
That would probably solve my issue.
I really believe that's what it is. I just have to shoot a load into you. I'm dead. I'm dead serious. But no, Soundwave 92.
It was a hell of a thing. I think I got my MRI back, but I don't know the results because I don't know them until Monday. But I think I need another neck fusion. I think that's what my problem is. That's what it sounds like, but
I'll give you a neck fusion.
That's what I'm betting on. Anyways, we'll find out Monday. But yeah, opening match was stellar, and they didn't overstay their welcome, but it felt longer because it told a great story.
That opening match, opening match, Jake, is the type of match you want to maybe open a WrestleMania or something.
Yes, it was really exciting, and I just wish they had a different ref.
Why?
I'm not crazy about Paul Turner, but
didn't they build? I swear to God, and listen, I know that when Dingleberry Cage loses, everybody complains, like, why does this guy never get a bone? Like, why is he losing? He needs to be pushed. But weren't they pushing Adam Page for something recently? And now it was almost like, what? Why did he come out and then lose? Wasn't he being pushed for something? Or wasn't there something going on with Page? Or maybe there isn't anything going on with him, and
they don't really. They will have a story to tell when they get out of this Moxley thing. Like, eventually, they do want to tell him and Kenny Omega story. Apparently, that's what Tony Khan had said months and months and months and months back.
What's the story? What's the story?
So, Kenny beat him to become the #1 contender after they broke up, and Kenny dissolved the tag team. Kenny went on and beat Hangman
but
Adam Page to become the winner of the title. So now it will
over,
eventually be that's long over, but the story will be his Hangman's redemption, and the arc will be that he finally is able to beat Kenny Omega to become the AEW champion, something that he's never done in either side. He hasn't beaten Kenny, he hasn't beaten, so that's the story that they wanted to go with. I don't know if they will, but as of right now, he's just kind of floundering. He did the stuff with Matt Hardy, and now he's ranked number 1, but he's losing. He has an out for this one because he got attacked pre-match. I get that, but it's still a clean loss. So it's still a big win for Brian Cage no matter what. I appreciate that it was a shorter match because they did have the pre-match attacks and everything that happened. The Dark Order comes out. They're the ones to even the odds. And then, obviously, we had that big power bomb on the stage that looked great. And then Paul Turner is checking on Adam Page, and he gets in there, starts the match. And from there, it was like, just a lot of great selling from Page here because he really went ahead and made sure that he sold the powerbomb and everything that happened beforehand. So
and I get the point that Adam Page doesn't need the win, and Adam Page is the number 1 rated ranked guy, so he can lose and then he's still awesome. He doesn't need. So I understand that. I was a little bit confused, but it's a small complaint. It's a small question. But all that matters
it's just
really
very inconsistent booking with a lot of people. They do it with Lance Archer, they do it with Brian Cage, they do it with Adam Page. Once they need somebody, they'll push him for a couple weeks, and then they'll just let him be an elevation talent, literally and figuratively. They'll put him on elevation, or they'll have him just elevate other people, whoever that may be. Kind of the same thing they're doing with Christian at this point. They're going to build him up a little bit just to elevate somebody else. That's their plan, but not a bad plan, but still. But they have a lot of people that they end up pushing to the wayside. I'm not a big fan of what they're doing right now with the Kenny Omega and Nakazawa match that's coming up, especially with them. This was really weird today. I know we'll get to it in a little bit.
Okay, that was the most weirdest thing they did tonight, but was still entertaining.
It was entertaining because I love Eddie, and anything Eddie does is great, but
no, I mean, what Eddie and John Moxley did last week with the trailer was retarded.
I don't blame them for that, though.
But they looked retarded. And it's actually
made them look retarded because they made it look like it was a magical disappearing act, and they just vanished because they all have powers.
Did they even? They didn't even explain it because
they
it makes no
acknowledged
sense.
it on their YouTube show where they showed them all running out of the trailer.
Oh my god!
And that's how they got away. They must have added that because the whole internet was complaining, so they just went ahead and made a joke.
Or
of,
the whole internet
complaining about
it.
Or
is it that the whole internet isn't stupid and they were
that's what it comes down to.
Whatever. But it's dude. They could have fixed it. But whatever. It was so stupid, and this was more crazy stuff. So first of all,
they're all in the limo. We've got that promo, which wasn't bad, but it was just very genuine heel, generic heel. I'm the bad guy, and to celebrate, you got to go through my lackeys.
Don Callis even said something funny that was a bunch of guys in a limo or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
and it was by the way, Don Callis is just a goddamn golden star. I can't.
He's great. The promo he cut on Sunday made it feel like it was the most important match in the world, and they don't even bring up the fact that Kenny's the Impact champion. Or the AEW
I don't understand this at all.
Impact champion. They don't mention anything about TNA because it's the TNA and Impact title, right?
And by the way, there goes all that shit about him wearing all these belts. That means nothing. So he just won the belt for what reason?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's not even coming out with them, and it's not I guess now him and Will Ospreay, as I said months ago, we told you that, we told everyone out of nowhere that the plan was they wanted to have a match with New Japan. And the goal is for, essentially Kenny to win the New Japan title that Will Ospreay is holding. So that would be interesting. Have him be the ultimate collector, but then who beats him? Hangman Adam Page? Is that really the guy to win all these belts? I don't know. I wonder if they need someone big, and who's bigger than Omega at this point? Sadly.
What is going on though with this Impact? Why is it we're promoting? Why is it we're working with you, but we're ashamed of you? It's very. This is weird. We're Impact Wrestling. We're working with you. We're gonna have one of your guys win our belt, but you don't really mention it, and you don't even plug us really, but we pay for advertising on your channel. What the fuck is going on here?
For everybody saying that it's a tape show, they taped it April 22nd. Okay, he didn't have to come out with the titles, but they could have edited that in promos. They could have done that in packages tonight. They could have done anything. Recap the match maybe, shown photos like WWE used to do after pay-per-views that you want to have people buy again. You know, like this is the highlights of the match. Remember WWE would show like still frames and be like, reorder and don't miss. Impact, that kind of thing. They didn't even do any of that.
I'm glad you just answered that because the show at the beginning, I said, did they tape this earlier in the day?
Yeah, well, it was taped the 22nd. So
see, I didn't know that.
So it was a whole week, almost 6 days ago.
In the world of wrestling, you're worried that something will change or happen at the last minute.
Well, I understand,
but
I
again, what you just said,
could have
all they got
to today is a package to put in. You could have done that from Sunday on. You had 3 days to figure something out.
Yeah, all you got to do is edit in
I know it's tape, but you don't go live till 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Figure it out.
All you got to do
add something in. Have Tony Khan, who I still can't get it out of my head that he was rooting for Kenny Omega to win. That was so bizarre to me. Like he's been cutting promos against Kenny this whole time, paying for actually paying. When he says he has those adverts that he's paying for on Impact, he's really legitimately paying out of pocket for those.
Yeah.
The one advertisement that Impact got for the pay-per-view last week, when it was in picture-in-picture, they had to pay TNT for that.
Oh, I'm sure, but I mean...
That's how their relationship works. There is no, give or take. It's very business. It's straight-up business.
So why is... I wonder why Impact Wrestling is then paying for advertising time on AEW. Why doesn't Tony just say, we'll advertise you for free, and then let us advertise on your thing, and we'll just do that? Why?
You would figure there would be some handshake agreement. That's what I'm so shocked about. That's why I was baffled by that.
It's so weird. But so, fine. All right. So they're in the limo. That's cool. And Kenny Omega...
It was very generic, but it was okay because it was going to set up what was going on later. But Nakazawa then later is in the ring. He's just sitting there in the ring. And we've had a really good night up until this point. We had all these great promos. We had the Cassidy match, the Statlander match. Things are going pretty well. And then Nakazawa's not defending himself. Eddie comes out there. He's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to fight your little, underling here. This is ridiculous. And then eventually, once Kenny and Don walk out, Nakazawa hits him with the laptop. And I wish that Eddie didn't sell it at all because Nakazawa is such a, light as a feather, flat as a board, kind of idea. But then they were going to break his ankle. And Kenny's like, whatever, go ahead. I don't care about him. He knew what he signed up for. He said, send out Brandon Cutler, but Brandon gets his ass thrown out there by Moxley. Moxley goes ahead and takes care of Omega, throws him in the ring.
Well, first of all, back up a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's weird he's in the ring.
It's weird that he's just sitting there waiting, all right, you don't have the entrance.
But hilarious. But hilarious in a fucking hilarious way because it's so weird. But
he's still, he's not dressed for a match. He's got the headset on and the laptop. And I would have rather him be ready for a match, just be in ring attire, but have him use a chair as a weapon or something else as a weapon. You can even have him use the laptop, but keep the headset on. Be in ring attire. You knew you were going to have a match.
Well, but then I like the heel stuff with Kenny Omega, but again, it comes off very like Seth Rollins type.
It does.
But then they rip off the DX thing with Mitch getting thrown out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Which was funny because I saw it coming and then they did it. And then it was but the problem was that it wasn't as funny. It was just but it was funny.
Well, Cutler didn't really sell it well. He looked like an idiot.
Well, it was funny because they did it. You're like, did they really just do that? We
laughed at the memory of it, the nostalgia moment, I guess. But the way they did it, Cutler was like, oh my, and he's like, oh, trying to sell and waving his hands, and it looked ridiculous.
It didn't look very good. And I wanted it to because that's a fun thing to do. But man, I'll tell you what, all it makes you think of is Vince McMahon is like, well, there's one more member of the Spirit Squad. Come on out here. Don't miss out on this, Mitch. Come on, Mitch. Then he comes flying out of the fucking thing. Shawn Michaels comes out, and DX is back. That was a huge moment. So for them to, try to channel that, you would hope it would be really, really good. It will never be as good, but it could be really good. But instead, it was just funny. It's just and it wasn't a big thing. It was another little thing on top of this whole weird segment of weird.
Why is that the match they want? Why would they not want a title match? Why do they? And if they do want a tag team match, why is it coming down to Nakazawa of all people that you want to beat up and Kenny. Like, I would have said a handicap match 2-on-1. That would have made more sense. And then have Kenny have, interference on his behalf. Why have the tag match? Why would you want a tag match? It doesn't seem logical. I just don't get that. So that was one of the things that I really didn't care
because
for
they
tonight.
want to together beat the shit out of somebody, I guess, right? I mean, why? What do you mean?
Yeah. And I guess
it makes no.
Bro,
See, them
you've got
wanting
the
the
world
match makes
champion
sense.
at your feet being ransomed. Why would you not say I want a title match? I want a rematch.
Who wants
Doesn't
a title
Moxley
match?
want the title match?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, why would you not? Because
I don't think it's about
there's
that.
Don Callis saying anything you want, whatever you want, I'll give it to you.
Well, that's the other thing that doesn't make sense. Why not just say, yeah, we're not going to give you it? How about that? Like, how about, haha, you idiot. You
break his ankle. Go ahead. And they should have had. Where is everybody? Where are the Young Bucks?
No, he should have
Where's
said,
the
no,
Good Brothers?
no, please don't break his ankle. We'll give you a title shot. And then when it's over, we're not going to give you a title shot. You moron.
Exactly. He should have went with it. Why is the match actually happening?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. And they should have said, all right, don't break his ankle. I'll give you whatever you want. And then, like you said, they don't actually go through with it. But then there should have been a grander promise.
What they should have
We'll
done.
give you a tag team title match. These two should want gold. They should want to face the Young Bucks. They should want to be champions together. No, he was just the world champion. Moxley was.
Well, because
and Eddie wanted to be the champion so bad that he almost killed his best friend Moxley for it.
Yeah, it is. That's what's weird, because you could normally say this. You could normally say, well, Moxley and Eddie are so crazy that they don't care about titles. They're just nuts, and they want to get back at these guys, and they want to kick their asses. But, like you just said, these two guys were literally ready to ruin their lives and relationships over a title. But now when they're on the same team, they don't want the gold. They just want to ruin somebody over, whatever. So you're right. It's a little weird. But the whole thing is weird. But, it's not like... The whole thing's
it's not
terrible.
The biggest gripe. It just took me out of it because I was like, wouldn't you ask for more?
It was it's so all over the place at this point from what happened last week that made no sense, by the way. It's actually, to be honest, who's hurt the most by this so far of what's been going on? To me, it's been Kenny Omega who's been hurt the most, because he looks ridiculous, and they look ridiculous, like hiding in the trailer, but then they're not hit. We don't know. Callis,
we don't know why they're running from just two guys out of a trailer. Like, even that still didn't make sense when there was all of them. Like, they showed them running away on BT, but they didn't explain as to why. They were just joking around and screaming and running. It was more to laugh at the internet's response.
And Don Callis has been so calculated with these promos, and now it's like this is like a it's like a cartoon or something.
It is, because he's like, the Young Bucks aren't the badass versions of themselves, and they're acting heelish, but they're acting cartoon heels. The match they did today was very Young Buck style, but in a cartoon heel manner, and it was good. It was entertaining. It works right now, but it is a bit ridiculous. And I wonder how long it's going to work for. I would rather see them be serious heels than doing the Johnny Cage low blow, wink in the camera, break fourth wall, have to go ahead and do, a few extra super kicks. And I did like the change to their entrance, having the streamers come in, the Ring of Honor and New Japan streamers. I like the idea of that instead of the Young Bucks, because it plays to their we're the best in the world mentality. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a sign of respect from the fans, so it's kind of an insult to the audience to have pyro that launches the ribbon and does it for you. It's supposed to come from the audience as a sign of respect.
I just don't. These guys just suck as heels. I don't know what it is, but they just blow as heels.
They're just very cartoonish, and they're non-believable. Like, it doesn't feel like they're villains or bad guys.
They're really
it feels
bad.
like they're just swarmy cunts. I don't know how to.
They're definitely douchey, and it's like that
very
works.
douchey. Like,
but I also don't believe it. So that's the thing. It's weird. So when the Young Bucks are faces, for some reason I believe it. When they're heels, I don't really believe them. Now, Kenny Omega, when he faces Rich Swann with Don Callis, it feels like this really big, really important thing, and then it happens, and it seems really good. But with Eddie and Moxley, I don't know, man. It just seems, what are they? It's weird. And again, it's better than WWE Raw. Like, it's better than Raw. Like, it's great. But it's just, last week made no sense, and then tonight,
It made even less sense, really, because
it made more. No, nothing will ever make less sense than what they did last week.
Less, but almost close enough less sense, because I mean,
nothing will ever make less sense than beeping outside. A trailer gets hit, they go in and no one's there, and we don't know what's going on, and then they say they ran away, and they even acted like
terrible. They had PTSD in the limo when the horn beeped.
Well, that was
how it beeps the horn.
That's kind of funny. That made me laugh. And that would be funny if we had seen them get thrown all over the trailer last week.
Exactly. Like, what do they have PTSD of? What are they afraid of?
Why? That's
why I was laughing. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Or Moxley, when they open the door with the bats, the first thing that happens is one of the Young Bucks is coming out busted open, and there's glass everywhere, and they're bleeding. And Kenny Omega, and how about Don Callis gets Kenny Omega out of the trailer before Jon Moxley and them get there, and they get to the car, and the Young Bucks are bleeding, and the other guys are hurt, and it's like, then the next week in the limo would have been hilarious, but we're just...
Yeah, that would have been stellar. That would have made it so much funnier.
But the horn is like, what's the horn? Why are they scared? We never saw them in peril. They heard a car horn, and then we saw a trailer get hit, but then there was no peril anywhere for anybody. But it was kind of funny still, but like it didn't. What are they doing? Like, it just all goes back to that being ruined.
It is baffling, and even worse than that, it's like, Don Callis is saying how I got the Elite back together, and he's right. He did. He went to the Young Bucks and he hounded them for weeks, basically, to make them snap mentally.
Yeah, his harassment that seed
worked. And now but these aren't really like the ultimate heels that they could or should be. I wish we were seeing that real dark side, not this phony, grossly negligent, like just joke of a phoned in parody that is a heel. I mean, really, when you think about what they did tonight, it was all a joke.
It was weird, but it was still fun to watch, though.
Let's cut to the chase. Is AEW moving from WED?
Mario Rodriguez, thank you.
We don't know at this time. It doesn't. I mean, the issue is the NHL signed a 7-year deal with Turner, so they have TNT and TBS. We don't know what's going where. NXT was already departing from Wednesday nights because of the bidding war, because NBC thought they were getting it, so they didn't even really need to move. Tony Khan told Busted Open Radio that, he's like, Wednesdays are home. I don't want to move. It's like the lifeblood of the company, being our partnership with TNT. He said he doesn't want to go up against the NFL on Mondays, so that would be out as well. And then Thursdays would not be an issue or an option because of the NBA. Same way, I believe, with Tuesdays. So I think it would come down to Fridays. So Tony Khan doesn't want to consider moving at this point.
Please, God, no. God, no.
It would come down to a Tuesday or a Friday if they had to move. And Tuesday again, same with NBA, and the NHL takes Wednesday. So we'll see.
Do you know the NBC is the NBC is done with NHL? That's done. Crazy. They had a really good production.
Yep.
I can't believe that. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, the NHL on NBC was really top tier stuff, and they're done. Like, that blows my mind. Like, they...
And I like the way that Tony says it, too. He's like, I would only go ahead and move, if there's something in it for AEW. Yeah, how about a television time slot, you dumbass? Of course there's something in it for you. What network are you going to go to if TNT doesn't take you? It's not that easy. Ask Impact.
Yeah, I don't know what
you got lucky. You got real lucky to get on TNT when you did.
This isn't going to work. I look at logistics of the NHL. The NHL is going to run games Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Fridays.
So I think that if they could do it where they do TBS on Wednesdays, they'd be okay to keep TNT.
NHL starts at 7 usually, so that's not...
Or they'd have to air it like they did, after the game ends. Yeah, that would suck to have to start at 10:30 at night to start Dynamite.
I'm telling you, it looks like they're going to be bouncing back and forth between days. That's what looks like what's going to happen. I'm serious.
I believe it as well. And NXT is not doing great either. They were up the first 2 weeks in viewership. Last night they drew 744,000 viewers. That's down from 841 the week before, so down almost 100,000 viewers. Actually, a little more than. And Rostafa made a great point before as well. I get that. He said, not just because it was a tape show, but because without permission from the other company, you can't showcase another promotion's title without paying for another title's appearance. But why would Impact not want their title showcased on AEW? They should want that plastered everywhere Kenny goes, so people know. Obviously, this was one of the highest rated, not rated, but bought pay-per-views for Impact in some time because of Kenny Omega being involved. He's a draw. We know this. Love him or hate him, you have to admit he is a draw. I don't know how much of a draw he is. I'm not saying he's a massive draw, but he is a draw.
You know,
he does certainly move some numbers.
I'd believe that 10,000 to 50,000 somewhere.
I think it's about an additional 50,000 buys at max.
So there
at
you
the
go.
maximum. I don't think we've had the numbers, but I think by tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere, we'll know those more definite.
I can't wait to see the numbers. What were their buys before? 8,000?
It was under 100,000, so
Impact.
It was way under. I think they had 15,000 for one, 25,000 for another at one point. Like it was very low. So
that's pretty good. I thought nobody'd be watching. I mean, like their other pay-per-views. I mean,
yeah.
If they
it's been a rough go of it, but they've been doing better lately, actually. So
right,
and they've been improving. And I wish they could get their audience back because they've got a pretty good product. That pay-per-view, for the other few bits that I did see, was entertaining.
Yeah,
with Big Cass coming back as W. Morrissey. I always liked
terrible
Cass.
name.
I like the name actually.
W. Morrissey.
W. Morrissey. It just to see him, I don't know why it worked for me. Okay. I felt like he embodied.
Well, seeing
that name.
him works for me, but the name doesn't work for me.
Maybe it'll grow on you. Maybe you'll always hate it.
It's like the name C.W. Anderson. I always hated that name. Like, what a stupid.
I could see that.
What a dumb name.
But I like the W. Morrissey. For some reason, it had like a biker sound to me. Like a
Morrissey sounds good. W. Morrissey sounds stupid.
Well, I wonder if they're ever going to expound or expand on his.
I'm convinced. There, or... I'm convinced that it's a copyright thing because Morrissey. I think that's a copyright thing. So
probably.
So they put W
they want
in there.
Morrissey, and they could just refer to him that way. And
somebody was like, "Well, that's his name, Joe." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get that, you dingleberry." But the point is that the name Morrissey still might be some kind of copyright, so they put the W in front of it to cover.
Probably. I think the Morrissey thing works for me so well. The W wasn't really that much of an issue. Yeah, the Smiths and exactly.
Yeah,
but still, he had a pretty damn stellar showing, helping out Eric Young's team. He looked great.
Why are we talking about Impact so much?
Well, because of just
we're never going to get through AEW though.
And we'll keep going with AEW, but everyone wanted to know, especially what did we think, and I think of what happened with the title change on Sunday. And going forward,
Rich Swann almost killed himself. I'll say that.
Yeah, and we will say that he damn near pile drived himself on the apron. That was one of the oddest moments. I don't know if that was an intentional botch. Like that was very random.
I can't tell what was going on, but
Penny played it off. Like, he is a master technician in that sense.
I thought he concussed
anytime
himself.
there's a botch, Kenny does save it somehow.
But I thought he got injured, so that's why after that he was completely dead. And I was like, maybe
because he just went downhill from there, and it looked like that just winded him. From there.
So I thought maybe he had a concussion because I was watching and I was like, did he concuss? Because he pile drove himself, and I'm like, okay, did he just get a concussion from that? And that why, like, is that why he's on Dream Street? And he's like, I'm good to go. And so Kenny just was like, I'll be in there with a wrestling doll again.
Soundwave said that W. Morrissey looked like Edge with extra inches and half the charisma. We'll see.
He should have called himself Razorblade.
I don't know if that would have worked, but yeah. So I wasn't crazy about the Young Bucks match. It was still entertaining, no doubt about it. And I mean, Matt and Mike Seidel, they have some great moves. Obviously, the punch to the balls I get with the Mortal Kombat movie. Eventually, we got to talk about that. I'm not even sure if you've seen it yet. So
not yet. Nope. No time.
But it just wasn't something that usually appeals to me. I didn't hate it, but it was still like enjoyable, no less.
Yeah. It was exactly what you said. It was like, whatever, okay, cool.
Orange Cassidy, kind of you get the same in the beginning, oh wow, his hands are in his pockets. Oh, I surprised you, and Abrahantes is going to get involved. Oh wait, no, he's not. He gets the backbreaker. Oh, but then they started to really like get into it. Penta starts biting him, and then they end up, at ringside, and they get into this big fight, and then Penta just basically like presses him over his head and then just drops him down right onto the apron. I'm like, wow, that looked, ouch, that had to hurt. So they kept going back and forth.
And they threw the glasses out like that was,
yeah,
dude. What's his face? Penta's guy? I forget that guy's name as a commentator.
Abrahantes. Alex Abrahantes.
Dude, he had to jump way up in the air, then fell off the apron to catch those glasses. That was an amazing grab, actually.
I really like him working because he's not a heel, but he gets to play a heel and act it up when he's not on the commentary table, and he's like, you can tell he's enjoying it, but he's like, I'm just a translator. Like,
you can tell
he can't lay a hand on me. I'm just saying what he's saying.
I gotta be honest.
He says you're a son of a bitch and a whore, and that your mother sucks cocks in hell. But I didn't say it. He said it. So
I'm not saying anything about him that I don't know his background whatsoever. But from what I get, he's almost like if I was in AEW as the side announcer. And then they decided, hey, you can do these things. Want to go out and be with this wrestler and just be heel? And it reminds me of that. I almost wonder if this guy has never really done anything like this, because he appeared to be slightly green at first, but also he was a little green, or he seemed green. And one of the reasons why, or he seemed like he wasn't ready for this, and he seemed like it because he's like, but wait a minute, I'm the good guy, Spanish and English announcer guy that everybody knows me. How am I supposed to play it? And I think at first he was playing it off as, okay, you're just a translator for him. But remember, he's the heel, so you kind of got to be a little bit like that, because you're the translating, but you got to rep that a little bit. And he sort of played into it, and then almost like by accident, he got better and better. And at this point, I'm like, at first I thought, well, this is a little cringy. He's not quite he's not really a manager guy. He's a regular announcer guy. He's never done this, but now he's great
as a translator.
He's starting to really become good, like really and he's whether he's learning now and becoming better, or he just wasn't ready to do something like this on TV and then got better at it. Whatever the case is, he's gotten way better, and he almost, like, I buy it. It's crazy. And what's weird is, Jake, here's the other thing that's crazy.
I like to begin with it. I think it's only gotten better. Well, I think it's gotten more fun.
No, he's definitely gotten better, but at first I was concerned. I was like, this is a little cringy. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to go.
He does some cringy stuff, like Spanglish skits on the BTEs things every now and again, and they're not usually that good. So that's why I was more concerned, and that I think that's part of the reason why I was like so surprised at first. I'm like, wow, he was funny. And he was, because I usually don't care for what he does on the YouTube side of things. So.
I don't love him to death, and how I first heard about him is in his videos. He was saying, "What's up, wrestling fans?" and people reached out to me and said, "Hey, this dude is saying your fucking like tagline." I'm like, well, I mean, that's a common thing to say, "What's up" at the beginning. So like he's just doing it. But someone was like, "Yeah, but I noticed it," and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I started just having fun with him, like, you copycat piece of shit. When I'm kidding, obviously. He doesn't fucking probably even know me or know that I've been doing that for 9 years. And I took it from Boogie, but brought it into the wrestling thing. He doesn't fucking probably know that. I was kidding, but I was playing heel, like, hey, you stole my shit, you loser. But I actually really like Alex. I think he's done I think he obviously does a really good job with this sort of thing that we're doing now. Post-shows, pre-shows, breaking down wrestling, having a podcast. Pretty good with that. A little bit suit and tie-ish, a little bit, corporate-ish. But man, talk about coming to what I love about it, and this is what's important. This is when you know someone's pretty good. When someone can host the pre-show and be like, hey guys, it's Alex Dingleberry, whatever, it's AEW tonight and we're getting ready. And he can do that, but then the next minute he can be like, hey, Penta says that, it's like, wow, this guy has two different personalities and he pulls it off and I buy it.
It's very believable.
Right.
And he doesn't seem schizophrenic. He just seems like this is something, anybody would enjoy to be able to let out some of that dark side. So,
I'd love to let out some of that dark side. And after I have a whole cup of black coffee, I usually do all over the toilet bowl. Let me tell you that, motherfucker. Soundwave 92 is the top fucking dog. Jake, today was a terrible day for me. I don't know what your day was like, but
today was a shit day. But
my kids all fought and like they tore the house apart. And Leah just cleaned the whole entire house yesterday. She cleaned it spotless, and they
just wrecked it. To the
no, when
shit.
I say wrecked, I mean like Brenna freaked out and wrecked my daughter. Wrecked my house on purpose, like a psycho. Toothpaste all over the bathroom, all over the floor, all over the walls. Fucking took the hamster cage stuff that you put in the hamster cage, ripped it open and dumped it all over the stairs, down the stairs, all over the things.
Oh, the bedding? Yeah, that doesn't.
Oh my god, bro! It was a nightmare. I had a terrible day at work. It was a fucking terrible day. I did all this shit for this one guy who wanted the moon moved, and then he said he was definitely doing something, and I had all this stuff done for him, and then he called and canceled the whole thing, and then my boss went, you're a fucking asshole. And I went, oh my God, bro. Like, I can't believe that this guy did this to me. And then, and then at Dunkin' Donuts today, I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, no, I'm at Wendy's. I'm at Wendy's for lunch, right? Because I'm fucking poor and I have no time. So I go to Wendy's for lunch, and I'm also, like, craving horrible food because I'm depressed.
Yeah,
and I get to
you always want to eat shit as soon as my cat died, I was like, yep, I can't even keep this shit down. I'm going to throw it up anyways, but let's go fast food.
I get to the window, and this big, gigantic, fat man greets me, and I'm getting my credit card out like this to hand it to him, like, oh, I'm going to pay and get my food. And he literally stands in the window and goes like this, guess what, sir? You're the 500th customer. And I laugh, so then when he does that, looking at me, there's like a manager right there, and then another lady, like very serious employees that I see working there all the time, really good. I love this Wendy's. And I go, what the I think in my head, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but like, but the joke, but you know, I'm a friendly person, so I laughed, like, and I'm like, ha, it's hilarious. Like, what do I win? Like, do I win? I said something weird, but I don't remember what it was. It was like, I was like, great. Do I win a day away from my family or something? It was something like that. Nobody answered me. And the minute he got done with, you're the 500th customer, he just turned and then went inside the Wendy's again. And then the lady was like, here's your Coke. And I'm like, okay. And we're not going to address that weird shit that just happened. Okay. That's great.
No one's going to say or do anything? Is the meal free?
Nothing.
Or like...
Yeah. There was no like, oh, Jeff, like, you're so weird, or like, don't mind him, he's having a weird day, or like, yeah, or like, haha, we got you, that's funny. Like, nothing. No acknowledgement that this weird fuck just did this. Nothing. Like,
that's really bizarre.
And so, like, that's all I was looking for was, like, where's the punchline or any acknowledgement
like
that just happened? Like, even if he had been like, sorry, I'm having a weird day or whatever. Or
yeah,
like,
you would just laughed it off. But see, I used to do things like that to people at the video store. They would walk in, and I was a really bad employee towards the end there. Like, I would be drinking heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on Sundays because I worked by myself. And being so depressed, I was pissed drunk, often just barely able to stand. People would come in asking for movies and be like, "Oh, where is it?" I'm like, I don't know, that kind of shit. But
I don't know. I got cocaine in my ass.
You pretty much, depends on how many condoms I stuffed up there today. But they would, I'd come in and I'd just mess with the customers, and I hated late fees. I hated charging people late fees.
You're right. You might have been autistic. That might be a Wendy's thing. That's true.
Hey, it very well could be, but it would break me down having to charge, like, a family of, a bunch of kids, and you see mom working hard and you got to charge late fees. And
you really see mom working hard unless you saw her across the street looking for dick. You didn't see mom working hard, You
know what I mean, those scenarios. So I used to pull stuff all the time. I'd be like, you're the 10th customer of the day. You get all your late fees cleared. And they just look at you like you're crazy, but you try and do nice things for people. But I would do stupid shit like that all the time where you just, be like, oh my God, you're the 1,000th customer. And they're like, what do I get? I'm like, yeah, free rental, just like whatever. But it was just to screw with people partially, but to also,
I would just
amuse myself.
I would be inappropriate. Like, I would be like I would just be weird. Like, I'd be
the fact that you didn't even get a free Frosty, I'm just baffled.
Yeah, I can't believe that he went, you're the 500 customer. And he went just like this, you're the 500 customer. And then he went, and he just turned and then left. And then
my buddy made a guy laugh at Wendy's, so like one of the Wendy's attendants, so hard they laughed that they ended up giving him his meal for free. Well, like, that's happened, but
I was shocked. I didn't expect anything because I thought it was a joke, obviously. But I am shocked that there just was no follow up to that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's so bizarre just to see somebody walk out of a Wendy's and clearly an employee.
No, I was just
watching
in the I'm about to hand him my credit card, and it says that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to lean out the drive-through window, you're like, you could, and you're like, oh, you're the. It's like, okay.
I said, and then no one acknowledged me either. I go, well, do I win a day off from a day away from my family? Like, which is a joke because I never want to be away from my family. But I'm like, do I win a day away from my wife and kids? And no one responds to me. And so then I started thinking, was he responding to somebody inside? And then just happened to be kind of facing me, and then like that wasn't actually made for me at all, And I'm thinking that. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Soundwave 92 is the top donator. Shit bum. We got more
definitely
shit
make his
bums.
coworkers
Yale
laugh
gets
at
a
you.
8 from me tonight. Can't wait for Blood and Guts. Should be a fun show next week.
Yeah.
NXT gets a 6.5. Solid wrestling with nothing really hitting home storyline wise. Cameron Grimes and the $1 Million Man was fucking fantastic.
So he really is going with the $1 Million Man thing. Pussy Lips McGee, thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum, brother. Or wait, or did they bring in the $1 Million Man? Did they bring in Ted DiBiase? Anyway.
Yeah, for it was hilarious.
That's
they've
great.
Had their back and forth. So.
I can't wait to watch that because I love Ted
You'll
DiBiase.
like it, yeah. That was one of the things I was going to bring up before, and then we got sidetracked, and I forgot to mention
One
it.
of the
but
best
thankfully,
sellers.
They brought it up.
He's such a great seller in the ring, man. Ted DiBiase was so good.
Oh,
You know?
the skit is the sketch that they do it's awesome, and this is not the first time that he's been there, so it's kind of a continued thing between them. But Pussy Lips McGee, thank you so much. Glad you brought that up.
Pussy Lips McGee.
Like I said, NXT was good. It just wasn't great.
become whoa
A shit bum.
Royal Thomas.
I'm not rating this show over a 6, especially how the Young Bucks get trashed and they had the best match of the night.
Royal Thomas loving it, saying $49.99. I'm not rating this show over a 6. The Young Bucks get trashed and they had the best match of the night. Yeah, they all got hit in a trailer last week, but they got out of it. But then they had the best match of the night tonight. Royal Thomas, thank you for all the donations tonight,
I
brother.
did like their match a lot, but I wouldn't give them match of the night. I would probably give it to Orange Cassidy and Penta. I really like that match, and the ending I like too because Alex gets involved. We saw this the Stun Dog Millionaire, and then the like a really sloppy DDT from the ropes as Orange Cassidy jumps
Good
off. and
mic
he hits
shot
Penta.
too. It was convincing mic hit.
Yeah, and then we get to the he gets the huge spinning DDT, and then Alex gets up and he's like, oh, you want to know what Penta said about you before? And that's when Orange Cassidy's like, I'm sick of this. He throws him in, and Alex takes a pretty good bump, a good solid comedy bump, and he flies into the ring, and that's when you see Trent. I hate that, by the way. I wish they would stop doing that with the question mark, especially when they announce Trent. They do it every time now where they Trent because they have to say it like a question.
Well, I mean,
don't know why they have a question mark
because
in
his whole
name.
entrance is like that from wherever.
But that's
whatever.
Orange Cassidy's gimmick. Now Trent as well has to be Trent because it's question mark at the end of his name.
Because they're booking all these guys like the misfits from the island of Dildo Land.
Oh, it's so stupid.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Statlander came out to the music.
I know because they're all together at
What
this
happened
point.
to her
She's
fucking
dating Orange Cassidy. So
For real? For real?
I don't know for real, but that's the
Oh.
storyline thing in the BTE stuff. So
Yeah, it's all just about they're all together, so they're all going to be goofballs now.
yeah. So Trent, if you question mark that up, that cringe crap. Yeah, Paul, I agree. They go ahead. And,
Why isn't it
he
cringy
takes-
when Orange Cassidy gets said from whatever and whatever? Why isn't that?
I guess because he wouldn't tell you where he's from, so people are like, from whatever, wherever.
Well, then why does the announcer
'cause he
say it
doesn't
like that?
talk.
Why does he say from
I
from
don't
wherever?
like that he says it like that. I've never
From
liked that. I said that
wherever.
from day one. I hate the way he says that.
Okay.
And I'm the idiot that does like the long John Boxley call too that Roberts does. For some reason, I like that. I'm an asshole.
You are
But
kind of. This is kind of shitty of you. I mean, this is. Ridiculous.
I know it is shitty.
And,
but
and I by the
anyway,
way, I find it annoying, but I get it. So I don't.
it's just something to point out. So the Trent thing, as cringy as it is, I still like Best Friends. I like them together. They work as a pretty good unit.
Do they though?
And I think so. I think they've delivered well so far. That parking lot brawl. Is
I hate
certainly
them all.
the-
Fuck them.
the top of everything we've gotten with them. But so Trent passes Orange the microphone, does it well, and then he hits Penta with the mic with the orange punch, whatever the hell they call that, freshly squeezed and whatever the finish is. And he does the Superman punch and takes him out and gets the win. Now Penta's protected here again, just like Hangman. So that's twice tonight we've seen that kind of finish. But it works again because it's a big win for Orange Cassidy. Penta can say you didn't really beat me, so we might get a rematch, sometime soon. I could see that happening, but I like it. It works. And I thought it was a really, really, really good match for TV.
Yeah, pretty good. I thought it was good. Pretty good match. I liked it.
I like Chris Statlander and Penelope Ford's match. I thought they had a really good amount of action. Unfortunately, I wish they had no commercial break because it was only a 7-minute match. I wish they didn't have them go picture in picture.
Yeah. The picture-in-picture stuff always bought. I mean, whatever. At
It
least
was really poorly time tonight. Like,
And
a lot
Sammy
of times they interrupted a lot of things. And I know that was intended to keep the Inner Circle promo all together, but they could have figured it out a few better times.
Yeah, that was too bad. It's always too bad when they go to the commercials, but I mean, and they brought Sammy Guevara's little notes back, which was funny. His little poster fucking things that he write. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, wow, I feel like we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
it was just funny, his little notes. I was reading his
yeah, because I don't think we've seen that in a long time. I'm trying
so
to
that
think.
was nice. I was watching that.
It made me laugh because even his action figure comes with the cue cards. So I like when Sammy does
cue
that
cards.
stuff.
There you go. Couldn't think of the word.
I couldn't think of it either at first. And I really like the finish that Statlander has, the Big Bang Theory. So that was good. It's a big win for her to beat, I think, Penelope Ford. I guess in the rankings, it's a big win. They had a really good video package that I'm glad they played because it was on YouTube already of Preston Vance, number 10, talking about Brody Lee and how he invited him into the Dark Order, gave him the mask, brought him into wrestling, was, another thing I didn't care for was the Nightmare Express stuff. I know
another Lex Express throwback thing. I thought that was funny.
A while ago, who else was supposed to have the bus? I forgot. There was somebody else that was supposed to have the bus, and they didn't have it.
Hangman?
Was it Kenny Omega?
Maybe it was Kenny Omega. I thought it was Hangman.
Didn't he have his own Lex Express that he said he was going to have?
Maybe. I don't remember. I mean, these guys
Someone in the chat will have to remind us. I thought it was Kenny Omega, but
not surprised.
Yeah, I certainly missed all of you more. I'm really glad to be back, TKO.
Why was Aubrey on the top of that bus with them? Like when there's
I don't know.
Not a match going on.
That was the only part that I cared about because the only person to make me care about anything with this feud is Cody Rhodes. The feud should be QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes. All of the underlings facing the other underlings does nothing for me. I don't know if you're excited by any of this.
Well, because
it's just really
that's why
why
at the end that's what it was about. It was about Cody and QT.
Yeah, thankfully they added that. I'm saying, but the match
they didn't add that.
We had this.
Because that's the match that's going to happen. The match that's going to happen isn't going to be all the other guys. I
could have done without everything they had getting to that point. I would have rather
but how
the bus in and they could have done it that way where Cody just comes out because QT has Cody's bus.
Yeah, then his buddies kick his ass, so you can't do that.
Well, Cody can still have people with him to take out the underlings at that point, and then it's just Cody versus QT
on the top of the bus.
Yeah,
I guess you could do that.
You could do
but
it
I
that
thought
way,
the
rather
match
than
was
have a 6-man tag that doesn't really happen and kind of it turns into shit. It was not a Go-Go's doing the gut punch and does it to Johnson and then does it to Gunn and you have Marshall for the pin. It's like, oh, QT wins, yay! But it didn't do anything to put him over in my eyes. It made Anthony look better than QT
because none of it was about. It's not about putting anybody over. It's just about.
It should be making QT look like more of a bastard heel here and really selling that he's an evil bastard and why Cody should be vanquishing him. But we don't really have much to it, so
doesn't it? It kind of just
there's really not much story to go off. This all feels.
You know what they should have done was they should have had Cody and him on the top of the bus, and then someone gets thrown off the bus onto the other side where you don't know where he went, and he lands on a fall mat, and then you cut, and then
it's already taped, so you can film after him landing and add in. This is the time you do things like that when you're taping a show. Exactly, Joe.
Right,
exactly.
Right. Yeah. And why
you're a friggin' genius.
One of them goes off the fucking express, and then that's where we go to commercial. Is the guy on the top is like, oh shit, what did I just do? I can't believe I did that. Or you have QT and Cody on the top, and they're fighting, and then someone else is the one who throws. Like they're fighting, and then QT is like, "Whoa, well, let's not go off this bus or whatever." And somebody else comes up and throws off Cody all of a sudden, or whatever the case is. Somebody goes off the bus. Maybe they both go off the bus. Maybe they both get hurt.
Something crazy. You could, we've seen merch tables on the outside, and if they need something to break their fall, you could do that too. There's ways to set up these kind of spots to do it safely. We know that.
Well, you put a crash pad on the other side, and then you put a crash pad on the other side. You then you cut. There's no crash pad. The guy's laying on the pavement, and he's hurt, and the ambulance is there, and they cut to commercial. Oh my God, what the hell has happened? Whatever. And if maybe they don't want to do that though. Maybe they're like, we're doing too many of those. Let's not do that again. Fine. But what you said was fine. They come off the bus.
It just feels like why would Cody really give a damn at this point? Like,
what do you mean? He took his bus.
I know. It just
and everything
feels
else. He thinks he's in the nightmare shit. He's going to take his place. He's going to take his training facility. He's going to take his bus. Okay.
To me, it almost feels like less than what he's worth at this time. Maybe that's what. Like, I feel like this is so beneath him, especially like you just came from the Shaq storyline, and now obviously he's going to beat QT at the end of this. So I don't really feel entertained in this sense. Like,
what do you want Cody to do right now?
I don't know. That's the thing. Sadly, Cody kind of has a ritualistic habit of like he gets into a quick feud with somebody, disappears for a little bit, makes a return to take them out, and then
they've already built
again.
this. They built this for weeks. Why didn't the first week? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't really crazy about it then when QT turned either. Like I wanted to see him do more. I was like, all right, this could be good if they really, but they haven't really gone like anywhere with it to make QT seem like a real evil bastard or this mischievous leader that's really undermining Cody, and he's got the bus. But
I don't know
okay.
Are you crazy? That's exactly what they're doing.
How are they making him feel evil and
why does he have to be evil though? Like, I don't understand that. What do you mean evil? Like Kane?
Well, he doesn't feel like a bad guy at all. He does
feel like a bad guy. He seems like an
whatsoever.
ungrateful friend who like wouldn't even be here without Cody, and yet he's going, I'm taking over the nightmare facility.
But
that's
a lot of what
one.
he said about
number
Cody
two is take
initially
your
was
bus.
justified, so it's hard to ignore
Exactly.
that.
That's what all good bad guys do. They sort of tell
You
some
should have a
truth.
relatable plot, so stick with that stuff. Instead, they ignored that, and they kind of just went with like, I'm going to take your stuff.
Well, it
gets to be very generic.
I don't know, man.
So
I don't know what you're saying. What do you want QT to do then?
At this point in time, it's kind of like just a wash for me. So,
but what do you want him to do? I'm going to hold you this because this is bullshit. I think you're crazy. What
would
the
have to
hell
rewrite
is
the
QT
whole
going to do?
Feud from the beginning. I wouldn't have done it this way.
So you just wouldn't have done it. But so what would you have done? What do you do? Who's the evil? What
you
evil do you want to
leave.
have?
I mean, fine.
What
But
do you
the
want?
way they've broken
him
up so far, it just
it's not the
it feels
greatest
like
thing.
they're more building a go-go than they're building QT.
But who's the go-go? The guy,
the boxer,
the boxer
one that's
guy,
doing the gut punch. Yeah.
No, he's just he just seems like he's a member of the group, but I mean,
but I feel like he's been more
he's
heavily
not the one
focused than
but he's
anybody else. So
why? Because he punches people?
He's been more of the main focus throughout the matches and throughout this story, at least.
Well, but QT is the one who cut the promo. QT is the one who did all the bad stuff. QT is the one that led them off the bus.
Yeah, and I just don't find it interesting at this point. That's my problem. It's just not gripping to me. It's just not connecting.
Okay. I mean, it's put it this way. It clearly is like not the most interesting Cody Rhodes thing that's ever happened. You know why? Because QT Marshall isn't interesting, really. He's like a dork who's like...
Well, that was the problem. They never made him feel serious to begin with. He never really...
He's never going to feel
went
serious.
ahead
He'll never feel serious.
That's the problem. So once you turned him, it was like, this doesn't already have a great point to it. Like, they didn't feel like best friends that were inseparable, or, you know, even the MJF turn, as telegraphed as that was still like emotional and moving and interesting and entertaining. Having Cody be turned on by QT was just like,
well, it's just a little, I guess I accept it for what it is. It's a little story that's going on. There's nothing else to do. It's a nice little thing. I thought the bus was kind of funny. I thought that they fought on the bus was cool. Why was Aubrey up there doing anything? I don't know. Maybe because she's friends with both of them, so she had to be up there. But she was acting like a referee on the top of the bus. That's what didn't make any sense. No. Like, what are you fucking doing?
I just
Aubrey?
wish they did more than just having them on top of the bus. Like, what's the point of being up there?
Pile drive
You
someone
made him
on
tap
top.
out, so why not tap him out? And why do you have to be up there so you can pose?
Go off the bus or get fucking pile driven through it or something.
Exactly. Like, what was the point of being on top of the bus? I just don't know anybody that would defend or like any of this. Like, that's my problem here.
QT Marshall is a wonderful...
I gave you how I would have done it better. I told you how I would have done it better tonight. And leading up to this, I would have had QT completely disseminating and destroying Cody Rhodes' entire, both his training facility. I would have
you
gone
wouldn't
through,
tell me how you would
Cody,
do it
you
earlier.
suck at how you train and how
You wouldn't tell me how you would do it earlier. You said, I don't know, I just wouldn't have done it.
Well, I said I wouldn't have done it this way. I would have to rebook the entire thing.
Okay. And it's just like...
I'm saying I would have had QT like actually lash out and attack Cody for credible reasons, like he started to in the beginning.
But he did do that.
Your training sucks. That's why these guys are coming to me at the Nightmare Factory. They don't want to be with you anymore. I'm the real, you know.
Didn't he do that?
Build him up as a serious possible contender. Does anybody feel like QT has a chance against Cody? Of course not. And then he made him tap tonight.
We're never going to feel that way.
Why would we want to see the match now?
Because he's a shit-eating little shit bum. He's a lower card guy. He's never going to feel like that.
But they could have made him.
So the answer is never do
more
it.
Of a nemesis of Cody's is my point. Even if they wanted to do a short story, at least have something to do with Cody for a few weeks. This all feels beneath Cody.
It is.
And Cody, exactly. That's my complaint.
He wants to have a match with his friend. That's all it is.
Okay, so we could have done it, and it would have been much better, and you could have had a big payoff for it.
No, there would be no payoff.
I could have done this, and there would have been a huge payoff.
QT sucks. There'll never be a big payoff.
I guarantee I would have written it, and there would have been a massive payoff to this.
I'll blow your dick if you can do that.
Absolutely.
QT is about as entertaining as a foot. So,
but there's simple connection. There's ways to build this. You could even incorporate the fucking reality show that they got coming up with it and do behind the scenes shit. There is so many ways to make this, and this is still better than Raw, no doubt. Like I'd still rather watch them make him tap out on top of the bus than anything on Monday Night Raw. I'm still going to give tonight, a solid 7 overall. This was a good show. The thing is that it feels beneath Cody. It feels like Cody deserves more.
Because he's wrestling a lower mid-card guy.
Exactly. So we could have built QT as an actual contender.
It's like when Owen Hart challenged Bret. I was like, what's going on here? Bret Hart's like
but they made champion. Owen feel like an equal.
Yeah.
They built him up.
Well, and
then Owen beat Bret, and that was shocking.
Well, but
that was the opener for Mania.
It was over like 8 to 10 weeks. We've only got 3 to 4 weeks of this.
Exactly, and already there's no intrigue anymore because Cody just made the guy tap. What's the point anymore? What's the angle?
Well, the angle is it's not about a match. Like, this is beyond a match. That's why.
Okay, but why is it beyond a match now?
But see, you're getting
because he took the bus.
You're getting into the point that I said. I don't understand why they're on the top of the bus. Why didn't someone go off it? But you're saying the whole thing is trash, and I don't agree with that. I just think that. Why is he tapping on top of a bus? Why is there a referee on top of the bus telling him like no? Why doesn't Cody just attack him, throw him off the bus, or don't even go up to the bus
window, throw him out of the bus window?
Yeah.
You could replace any one of those windows with sugar glass and do it. Throw him through the window. That would have looked 1,000 times better than anything you did tonight.
Or pile drive him. A pile driver on top of the bus, or a DDT, something on top of the bus. Would have been nice.
Too bad they just had somebody hide in the bathroom, but that realistically would have worked, But you have Cody hiding on the bus already. He's had it from last episode, and Cody already. You get hit for his revenge to throw him out, and that's why. All right, fine. There's ways to do it to not. It didn't seem anything but ridiculous. You made him tap. You had to bring him all the way on top of the bus. Why? Why is Aubrey up there? Like you said, the whole thing after the shitty 6-man tag, and then everybody getting involved after rounds, because they always have to have more shit after shit with that. It's not for me. So
yeah, it wasn't very good tonight. Although it was, not at all. But yet I liked it because I was like, cool, a bus, and then like that's all it was. It was like, haha, Lex Express, that's funny. And then I liked that Cody showed up, and I liked that they fought, but then it didn't make sense. So,
and then they did announce that Moxley is fighting Yuji Nagata for the IWGP US Championship May 12th.
Nobody will see that. Oh, on Dynamite.
They're going to do it on Dynamite.
They will see it.
I do. What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness?
I'm your friend.
Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Luis.
AU's second hour will be heavily affected in the ratings because of President Biden's speech to Congress.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, it won't. No,
even as much as I despise Trump as a person, I still had to see what he had to say. I have no interest.
Nobody's watching Joe Biden.
Yeah,
nobody.
People aren't tuning in. You'll see the numbers dwindle, and that'll be something Trump can wave his flag about. But
I can't stop laughing at that. That guy thinks that people are gonna watch Biden. Oh my God, bro! Can I show you something real quick? You think people are gonna watch Biden? Let me show you something.
While you're pulling that up,
no, I'm not pulling it up. I'm showing it right now. I'm not gonna pull it up.
Right.
Watch this. It's coming right now. President Biden delivers remarks. That was a day ago. 17,000 people saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the fuck out of here. No one's watching. That's on his the White House YouTube channel. Okay. Now, when Trump did those videos on YouTube, they would get 200, 300, 400,000 views. I mean, the White House, The White House YouTube doesn't get many views anyway. Like 500,000, 300,000, 200,000. Nobody's watching that. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just, that's pretty much it. It's just the ratings suck. You're going to see it, I bet. I guarantee that'll just be a continued trend downward. So I laughed at Miro. I don't know if I was supposed to.
Oh, my God, Jake.
That was ridiculously awesome.
No, he's hilariously unhinged, funny, retarded.
Yeah, I was laughing, but laughing at him. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I was laughing. I was like maniacally laughing at one point. I wanted him to break every bone in Kip's body.
Right.
I wanted to vicariously jump into the TV and through Miro just assault Kip. So this was a nice thrashing.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I thought Kip was terrible at selling it, but I thought Miro was hilarious.
He was ridiculous. He was so cringy that he was like a high school cheerleader.
Yeah, please
getting dropped.
Fire
Screech.
Fire Kip. What's his name? Kip something. What's his name?
Sabian.
Fire Kip Sabian. He's terrible. Just get rid of him. Not good on the mic.
The appeal with him. I never understood it.
It's not good on the mic.
I mean, Joey Janela brought in Penelope, so
I like Penelope. Get rid of Kip.
You can still keep her and get rid of Kip.
Fire Kip. I'm gonna be savage now from now on.
Kip's one of the ones that I never understood, and I feel bad.
Nice guy, terrible. Just gonna.
Yeah, he's entertaining on Twitch and things like that.
Go back to POW, whatever is in England. Oh my God!
It just doesn't work here, and him screaming with the door slam and all that. They did sell it well in the sense of they move the camera up, because obviously what they do is he puts his foot in the door frame so he can slam his arm, and it looks, your foot stops on the door. Right. The door stops on your foot, so you're not, you can still slam it, but you're not going to get the impact on the arm, but it still makes a thud and it looks legit. So they move the camera up a little bit so he could put his foot in the door frame, and I'm like, oh, good. They you don't have the Raw effect where you see Bobby Lashley stepping on toes.
I was thinking that too. I kept thinking, don't pan down. But it was taped anyway, so they would have fixed it probably. But yeah.
So you think, but we never know.
Yeah, well, that's imagine that if it was fucking in there still. Like I'd actually probably throw a nutty on this fucking review. Deftones, what up, Deftones? The champ is here!
I'm coming for Jake. Shit, I'm not gonna lie, I raw dog and come inside Chris Statlander too. I don't know why, but I keep thinking of creepy Tony Khan with Brit, and he was all up for us saying, oh, we're gonna make you the champ, I'm in love with you.
Oh yeah, that was so weird, Deftones. Can we go back and watch that? We're gonna go back and watch that. That's so creepy. Oh my God, what was that post the show, the pay-per-view, what pay-per-view was that?
The recent one, the Impact one.
No. It was the post after Moxley's, wasn't that after the failed ring? No, that was after an AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, it was a Dynamite show that was a special. It was the St. Patrick's Day one, I think.
Oh, here it is. It was here it is. I found it. It's so weird. It's the creepiest thing you've ever seen. That's
when they're talking about the Meltzer stuff and all that, right?
No. But when I don't know, maybe that is, but this is only a 2-minute clip. But
okay, no, not in this clip.
When you watch this, it basically, I've never been raped like a woman had, many, you know what I mean? I felt like I was being raped, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, because Tony's like, and he's gloating about it. He's like, this is a special, so this could be match of the year. And he's like, oh, Meltzer has to rate this 5 stars. He has to. And even she made a comment about it, too. That was their focus, was getting a 5-star rating.
She looks like she's trying to get away from somebody who's naked with her dick in their hand.
And the funny part is, there's the meme going around of Mel Brooks sitting next to the guy that played Jesus in Passion of the Christ, all bloodied and ripped apart. And you see Adam Cole, and then you see his girlfriend, Britt Baker, and Britt's just ripped apart. Because they both that night had that crazy match. Stand and Deliver, he had the match against Kyle O'Reilly.
Right.
But there was no blood in that. I mean, they both got stretchered out, but no blood. And Britt, God, she bled gallons, so it was just funny to see the comparison.
In defense,
her boyfriend didn't bleed at all, and she's leaking like a faucet.
In defense to Tony Khan, I think he just really is excited to tell her that he's appreciative, but she is so creeped out by it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, that was good.
Let me tell you something. If a billionaire who's my boss grabs me after a match and I'm bleeding everywhere and is doing this. Now, first of all, I would say, get the fuck away from me. The cameras are rolling. I'm going to stay in character. Let's not all praise me now. But I would actually have hugged him right there, and I would have tried to like rub his butt a little bit. I mean, but that's me because I'm a whore. You know, like that would have been me. But yeah, Tony was very like.
Thanks to you, man. What a man event. No, what do you? That was one of the best things I've ever seen on TV, bro. Thank you. Hey, I told you this was gonna be good.
Told you this is gonna be good. I told you it's gonna be.
And then he bumps into that
good.
guy. Is that QT or the medic?
That's
the medic.
No, that's the medic. Yeah.
Yeah, he bumps into him because he doesn't see him.
I can't even see you, medic.
He just bumps into him.
I'm gonna fuck you with my eyes. Oh, I'm gonna put fucking hidden cameras in the woman's bathroom later. Oh my god. Sorry, medical guy. Look at. This reminds me of.
Yeah, if I was a female and I was hot, oh my god, I'd be the biggest whore in the world.
I'd blow Tony, bro. I'd be like,
I'd be swallowing.
I might try to gobble Tony Khan. I might try to gobble him now. 36-year-old.
I would be the ultimate ring rat, Joe.
I'm divorcing Leah. Tony Khan, if you're gay or bisexual at all, Tony Khan, I'm Joe Cronin. I'm in Massachusetts. I'll move to Florida, and I will gobble your knob for a job. All right, I swear to God, I'll do it.
Rose.
I will suck you off $300,000 a year. I'll suck you off every week, and I'll wrestle and commentate, wrestle, everything. $300,000 a year. Let's go, Tony. Make it happen. Can we get Joe Cronin in AEW? Let's see.
Welcome back, Jake. I missed you.
Oh,
missed you, unlike your Chris Maloney poster, which takes loads of your man sauce nightly.
Ooh.
Where is Shell's tasty ass?
Ooh.
Hey, Omega Terry Gordy called he wants his perm back. The bucks of young suck of dung. Please send pussy.
Okay.
And I'm not one that hates like the Young Bucks outfits and their shoes and all that stuff. Like that stuff works for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, like them having the $10,000 shoes works with the heel gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I like the flashy outfit chains, like they're trying to be, but I wish their style matched the gimmick more. Like I wish they were more serious badasses. Like they could be comedic at times if they're going to be sarcastic.
Just make it all
just
black.
Don't
make it all black.
Well, they had decent attire tonight, but just, and I know they have those super expensive shoes that they're rocking. And I'm not a sneakerhead by any means, but still, it's just, I wish they were just more serious heels, especially since they joined Kenny and the Good Brothers and the Elite. Like it should be this thing that more intense, but
they just aren't very good, believable heels. I don't know why, but they're fine. It's fine. But you know what would help them is the storytelling making more sense. Like I'm not going to go back to it again, but
and there's so many inconsistent angles right now because they're all over the place. The Good Brothers don't really feel like they serve a place. They're kind of just fodder because they're not the Impact champions, and they have to constantly say the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world. The Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world. Like that's got a grate on you. So why would they not want to kill the Young Bucks? They were supposed to have a match and try and take the Young Bucks AEW titles originally. That was the story they were telling. So I don't know. It's just odd, but
I got to put something
the house
over.
is haunted. Don't worry about it.
I got to put something over real quick. If you guys did not hear it today, I had a lot of feedback. People said they really enjoyed it. I finally went back and did a podcast for real. Like I had energy. I was feeling really good. So if you guys heard my video earlier today, it was only like 15 or it was like 9 minutes long. But there's a 33-minute podcast that I put up on Patreon. Go listen to it. At the very end, I started breaking down how I think Hollywood stars in the Elite are going to have to be microchipped in the future because people are going to start being able to deep fake people so bad that they can start convincing people that they did something terrible. And the only way to prove
it's not that unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need, like CSI has become so heavily based into developing software to unphotoshop things.
Right.
De-edit, I don't know the right terminology here, but I was reading an article a couple weeks ago that was pretty interesting, and it was like how the advanced in tech makes a whole new issue for police, agencies, and basically it's like, what do you do if somebody can rob the bank and then change their face at the same time? It's not that unrealistic anymore.
Now, so we're going to talk about this, me and Jake, on a podcast, but I spoke for about 3 to 5 minutes on it on this podcast, but I talked about a bunch of other things too, so go listen to it. It's up on Patreon now, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Go listen to it, download the podcast on your phone, computer, wherever you want to save your data plan, whatever. And then me and Jake will follow up with probably a whole thing on it. But my idea behind this was, do you remember when they said, like Trump pissed on these Russian women, it didn't end up happening or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like you could create that, and then it's like, how would you know? So the only way celebrities would have to have like identifying codes on them and a chip.
Well, look at the radio DJ that
GPS.
called into the My Pillow guys, the live stream he did just with a Trump soundboard, and the guy's like, he's talked to Trump dozens and dozens of times recently, and he doesn't know that a soundboard's calling through, like, so
well, that guy's the My Pillow guy is a fucking special person.
Mike
bro.
Lindell is a bit of
I want to get him
individual.
Can you
he
imagine,
sounds like Jesse Ventura.
I want to get him on a podcast and troll him. Like, I want to get him on a podcast
he
and
would
just
be great
fuck with him
to troll.
And then just be like,
because
so
he believes
listen.
so much crazy stuff.
He
started a social media website that has no social media aspect to it. It's just a news feed.
Oh. Well,
there's no social media to it, but it's the place for free speech.
It should be called Pillow Talk.
Now they could capitalize on that.
Or like
they're trying to distance themselves from
Pillowy.
him.
That's what it should be called. Pillowy. Oh my God, Pillowy. It's so cute, and like the symbol is a pillow, and then a smiley face in the pillow.
Hey, speaking of
there's your new Twitter right there,
pillows.
Pillowy. He's a psychopath, but he makes a good social media.
Speaking
and a good
of
pillow.
Pillows, tomorrow night, out of nowhere, we'll be talking about Mickie James and how she was told that wrestling, guess what? Women's wrestling doesn't matter because it doesn't make money. And that's been the theme going on for years now. So we'll talk more about what she said after being released.
Guess what? No wrestling makes money really now. So like,
but to be so disenfranchised behind the scenes,
who said that?
Suck.
Like, I mean, I know they said that in the past.
Mickie James.
They're saying that now.
Yeah.
Like currently, people are saying that.
Currently, they're getting back into that mindset.
Is it not?
You can kind of see the current product. Like the women are all over
I'm
the
not
place.
surprised.
They're heel one week. And
it's terrible in WWE. So how could it make money? It fucking sucks. How could any of it make money though? How could any of the men make money?
Their fault, but
the men can't make money either. What the fuck's the difference?
I know, but they just have some type of
stigma.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Triller wants to have Joey Janela versus Dylan Bostic in a boxing match. So that might happen. That could be interesting. Triple H, guess what? He's selling more stock. What for? We'll talk about it and how much. And like I said, we'll talk about the AEW viewership.
He needs to pay to get someone to take out Vince.
Yeah, WWE's live plans for the future, when they're going to go back and do some live events and how they're going to test things. What's going on for SummerSlam plans? Sadly, it looks like Boston is no longer a possibility, Joe.
No way. Yeah, I don't believe it. Next year,
what happened is there's no official date for SummerSlam, but
what happened is
August
our mayor left.
23rd is the last Monday of the month, and that's when Boston opens up back to its Normalcy Act.
Okay.
It was supposed to be August 1st, but I guess Boston Mayor Janey announced that her city will wait 3 additional weeks before fully opening per the new policy.
Yeah, the mayor left to work with Biden's cabinet, so there's a new mayor, a temporary mayor in charge right now.
Yeah.
That's lovely during COVID. Like, Mayor Marty Walsh leaves to work with Biden, and now we're left.
So it was like Mayor Janey. I believe that's, but still. So they said they're going to wait an extra 3 weeks for the normalcy to return, and then they'll open up back to regular. So I guess that's going to be, unless they do SummerSlam at the very last Sunday of the month, the 29th, then there's no other date open. So they'll have to go, and what they wanted to do is go to Phoenix or Texas. And I guess they might be going to Texas. So
wow, okay.
And Texas will be open before then.
Let's go, baby. Joe Rogan hosts SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen.
Right?
Don't mind if I
my God, they should get Alex Jones.
What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness?
I'm your friend.
Say hello to my
chocolate blend.
Biden supposedly got 80 million votes. What a joke. I sent you a picture on Twitter that showed AU was trending #1 over Biden's address. What a joke, lol.
Wow. Alex Oli, thanks for the $5. Holy shit, are you serious? I mean, listen, I'm not going to say what you're saying, which is that it's like everything's rigged or whatever. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. But there is
right now he has a 54% approval rating, Biden. So they're saying that this is less than from when he got into office, obviously, and
he doesn't do anything. He hides, doesn't he? I mean, basically, I don't know.
We got a new member. Yes. Oh, I'm hard.
Whoa.
I'm so good. Oh my God, I'm hard for the new member.
My special pillow. Okay, that Wolfpack Matt Gratlin, man, I can't thank you enough for becoming a member down below, dude. Thank you for hitting that membership button.
Yeah, Trump was around 40% most of his career in office. Approval rating. Barack Obama started off higher at 62%, but then
everybody was down with Barack.
Stayed around 40%. Bush magically goes to 85% around 1 year in. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, blow up a tower.
Best
Weird.
part of the promo was Dax. When you pack your suitcase next Wednesday ready to fly to Florida and your kids are saying bye to Daddy, whisper in their ear, Daddy's not coming home. Jake, hurry and do Mania flashback. I'm fucking around. Ha ha.
Man, I did not like that, but it figures you would like that, Deftones.
I did like it, and it worked for me because it just was sold
so
well.
much,
They delivered it well. It's a generic line, but it was the reaction and how both it was delivered and sold.
It was all right. It was fine. It's just I don't think that's the best moment, though. That's crazy.
That wasn't the best moment, but
Deftones, you have the personality of a
he
stump.
certainly really liked it, so I can't argue with Deftones there.
Duncachino? Don't mind if
I love you, Deftones.
What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
We are past due for a donor train. Who's in? Let's go.
Hey,
Let's
wait a
make
minute.
Joe late for work tomorrow.
I know. I was just gonna end the show. That's funny, Duncachino. Hey, why didn't that play the Kenny Omega donation? Isn't that supposed to be the $11 one? Am I crazy?
I don't know, but I'm glad we got the Duncachino coming in. So
that's Duncachino.
Duncachino.
You can't say anymore.
Duncachino. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're saying.
Duncachino.
Same thing. Duncachino. Yeah.
No, it's Gook. Like Gook.
Yeah. Duncachino. I got you.
No, I don't think that's. I don't think you can say that. You gotta say Gook.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying Gook.
Gook.
You're saying no. Oh my God. Oh well, never mind. I mean, listen.
Sounds identical. I don't know what I'm missing here.
Well, you're missing a.
Cells.
Oh my God.
We know that.
It's terrible. We're canceled.
AEW next week. Damn good show. I mean, obviously, we get the blood and guts match. That's the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. Can't wait to see what happens. I almost think the Pinnacle should win. I mean, that's really, it's tempting, but I'm not sure what they're going to do there.
I think someone's turning on Jericho's side, but it's not
going to be Sammy. That's too obvious. Imagine if Hager turns. Or I don't think it would be Santana and Ortiz. That would be, but if Hager turned, that could make sense. And
somebody's it. I'm no. Maybe nobody is. I'm just got a weird feeling, man. It almost feels like
seems
somebody...
like it. It seems like something needs to happen because they would have to have a reason why the Inner Circle lost, be pretty decent. But the Pinnacle losing here buries them entirely. I mean, this is their essentially debut.
How do you lose again? Do you know how this match is structured?
Yeah, it's the two cages side by side, and obviously Sammy Guevara is going to start the match. And we'll have two opponents on the other side.
Shit bomb.
I don't know if they'll start together or if
Jake,
they'll start one-on-one and just add
but
one.
I'm sorry JD broke in your house and ass assaulted your cat and killed it. Then he said something your jiffy peanut butter and his cum.
Oh, God. No, JD actually reached out to me, and he was very, very sweet. And I didn't get the chance to respond back, but I really appreciated him reaching out and being thoughtful. So thank you, JD. I appreciate it.
He did?
Yeah. Yeah, he sent out a tweet in response and was very apologetic.
I didn't even see that. How did I not see that?
So I was, very appreciative of that.
I didn't even see it. I would have. I didn't see it. But fuck him anyway, though. Seriously, no, fuck him. I'll be at his funeral.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll be at his funeral.
I'm gonna.
Right?
You know what I'm gonna do if he dies? I'm gonna be at his funeral. Somehow I'm gonna get a hold of it. I'm gonna take over ownership of his cats, and then I'm going to beat them with a bat.
My buddy Ryan, growing up, was a little little crazy, and I loved him for it. He would dress goth, and he had his own unique style, and was just a great, unique, free spirit.
Sucking cock.
He used to make a joke that, there was no way he was getting out of his teens. So when he died, he wanted to have his funeral be a lively celebration. And he wanted us to rig him up like a marionette and have him, do rave dances and set up a DJ booth and all this stuff so that his body could dance, because he liked, rave music and all that stuff. Oh, of course, go figure. But so that was his, grand idea. I've always, it was a joke, running joke between us. People are actually doing stuff like that at this point for funerals. Have you seen this stuff?
Oh, my God. Yeah. What the hell's wrong with people?
First, they were just posing bodies on, like, motorcycles and in scenes and stuff. But I saw them the other day. They set up an animatronic so that the guy can go ahead and be dealt into poker over and over. And then they went ahead and they had another one where the guy was waving to people on his bike. Like, I'm like, oh, my God, that is haunting.
I can't wait till the hologram.
It's actually a reality.
We got to get a hologram, like, where... Like the hologram of your friend and then they create remember it's like in Star Trek where she had the obituary thing, but like you do a hologram where like the hologram plays like a bunch of different hands, or plays a bunch of different things, or you can make the hologram and then you use like the computer to make the movements on the chessboard, but you're playing the hologram and it looks like the person that's dead. And they can say things because you record yourself saying all these things, and then you play, and it's like you're with them still. It's very comforting. I don't mind that. I'm not scared of that. I think that'd be cool in the future. But that is kind of freaky. But it's still freaky, and I get it.
Shit
it's weird.
Bomb!
The funeral thing's really fucking
become
weird.
A shit bomb.
I'm in. Let's start this train.
Oh, God.
Choo-choo.
Drew! What's up, Drew? Thank you, man. Thanks for trying to start a
Drew's
dono
in.
train. I really appreciate it.
Started off by Duncachino.
Duncachino. I don't think there are going to be no dono trains tonight on AEW review, but and I'm going to bed. That's it. I'm done. I got to get up early. I actually got home at 8 o'clock, so like I missed a bunch of. I had to like go back. It was.
I was watching AEW while Courtney was driving in the car, actually, on the way home. So
yeah,
I saw like half of it in the car.
I'm dead, brother. I have no. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's too bad, man. I remember the shows. It's funny, we used to end these shows, and I would then play video games for hours, and like
be up super late.
We'd have fun playing PUBG. People would be donating like crazy afterwards. Like we funded the fuck out of this show, and we did a lot of crazy things, but that kind of like dwindled away. So now Daddy Joe has to work a lot. So, but I appreciate the
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Attempt.
Duncachino.
I'm dead though. I'm dead.
Duncachino.
You want creamy
I'm
goodness?
fading as
I'm
we
your
speak.
friend. Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
It's New York.
Whoa.
Showing you some love.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Yo.
New York.
New York.
Real old school there.
The first ever caller on the Joe Cronin show. The first ever caller.
We didn't mention this, actually. We didn't get
crazy.
your rating for the night. Before we get you out of here, we I said a 7. But the one thing I didn't, really wish they did, which they always have to. Why can't they just end a match and raise somebody's hand? Why does there always have to be another setup or interference? Or having what's his name, Scorpio Sky, come out with Ethan Page and the attack. And I mean, Ethan Page's original attack is what let me believe that, all right, Darby Allin might lose the title. That was a good moment. But then the attack afterwards continued. It was just like, even that, it's just a bit much. So,
oh man,
I'm glad, that they at least made 10 look good here. They sold it well, but
yeah,
I think the first hour was better than the second.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I almost want to give it a 7.5, but I'm even gonna give it a 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 tonight. I actually was pretty happy with AEW. This was not one of their not the top tier best shows they do, and not right below that, but it's right there. It's a very, very nice show this week. I thought it was nice. It could have been better a little bit, and then in some ways but it couldn't have, I don't know if it could have been much better on the promos. The promos were fucking fire. The matches were good. If they had one match that was just fucking crazy killer, then it would have been nuts. But it just was a great show. It blew WWE Raw out of the water. I just very, very happy with this show tonight. It entertained me, made me feel good. I had fun. Even during the moments that I was like, I don't really like this. Like you said, like the QT thing and did Cody, like, I don't really care about this. But I still was interested because there was a giant bus and they actually went on top of it. And, nothing really happened, but it was like, what's going to happen? Oh, cool. But then nothing did. But if something had happened, then it would have been that much better. And that would have bumped you to a 7.5. Maybe it would have bumped us both to an 8, Yeah,
maybe an 8 even.
But, but the fact that they kept my interest at least, even the fact that they went, hey, what do you think's in my hands? Oh, it's dog shit, But it was like, well. But it was still like, oh, that was entertaining. As opposed to, what's in my hands? I don't know. Oh, it's dog shit. It's like, what's in my hands? Do you want to know? Don't you want to know? It's dog shit. It was still entertaining to see that. So even when they do something bad, it's not horrific and it's not too long. Nothing was too long tonight. So that's another good positive about tonight. The pacing was decent. A little bit all over with everything, but in a way. So the pacing wasn't the best, but it was like everything was just short enough. So it was okay. In fact, I kind of was the least interested in the main event tonight. I didn't care too much about that. But I liked the Brody tribute, and I liked Darby Allin, and the attack afterwards, the clipping and the attack from the outside was kind of fun in a way. It didn't seem like the main event, though, but it was. So, yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's my big, long-winded answer to tell you that it's a 7.5 from me.
And I did like the finish from the main event.
Shit bomb! Whoa.
Surprised you didn't make note of that right away.
A shit bomb.
I know you Jake thoughts on Charlotte's suspension.
We'll come back to that. Yeah, he did the Bret Hart ending. The one that we said a couple remember?
You just brought it up recently not that long ago, so that's why I was laughing because it was literally the because
you said
the Roddy Piper.
Somebody said, how do you get out of a full Nelson? And I said, well, it's very easy. You do what Bret Hart did to Roddy Piper.
That's what it was. Yeah, because we were talking about it with Bobby Lashley. I think it was the Mania review.
Was. Yep. It was like you push yourself off the corner and you cover them like Piper and Bret Hart. And then here it is tonight. You saw how to get out of the full Nelson. Fucking hilarious. So I'm glad I thought of that too, Jake, during the match, but I forgot. So I'm glad you brought it up.
I did forget to bring it up before, though.
I'm like, well, there it is. So
surprised we didn't mention it sooner. But
classic.
Hey, great. I love the way they did it tonight because it made perfect sense and it was so well executed.
Well, it makes Darby look clever too. Normally he's like crazy, suicidal, but no.
Exactly. It added another layer to him and it made him look intelligent and like a veteran. Like he had some ring awareness and he knew what to do. And at first I'm like, what's he going to try and do? The coffin drop here? And I'm like, no, he did the Bret. All right, there we go.
And Bret Hart did that multiple times in his career. A couple times he didn't win with it, but it worked as a counter. Even if you don't get the pin, sometimes it just works as well as a counter. So Deftones, thanks for the $1.99. New York, brother, thank you so much for hitting me up, man. Make me feel good. I Love Toes donated $1 and said, I've been naughty, little turkey recently. Who wants to devour my hot, tight hole? Man, I haven't heard the turkey donation in a long time. So tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere,
we got to bring that back.
Well, no, it's back.
Oh, it is back.
It's been, no, it's never been gone.
Bring back the turkeys.
It's been back.
I didn't know you brought that one back now. Already.
Oh, it's been back. It never left. It's always been
okay.
Here. Never left. I told people that it was donated. People just don't donate it. My point is,
I was
tomorrow
confused
night,
which one was there and which one wasn't. I always
it's good. They're all listed down below. Everybody, go look at them. But yeah, that's it. Yay! Have fun. Jake's back. That's good news. I'm dead tired. It was a miserable day. I hope you guys had a good day. I did not, but no doubt about it.
Next week, Blood and Guts, and it's every 5 minutes you get another person to enter the match, so they're doing it the same usual typical rules. So Sammy Guevara will start, one of the heels will start, likely, they'll do it Sean Spears.
So in a key
and then
moment,
the heel side, the Pinnacle gets a new guy every 5 minutes, so they'll be the first one, then it'll be MJF, MJF side first, then Inner Circle second, and it'll just keep until everybody's in the match after 5 minutes at a time. So that's really going to be most of the night.
In a key moment where the Pinnacle is beating down the Circle or whatever, the Circle of Trust. Then the last guy comes out, and it's like, thank God, like he's got to help them.
Yeah, thank God Hager's finally coming out to even the odds and start this match over, because the match doesn't really start. Is it every 2 minutes? I thought it was every 5.
Oh.
Okay, so it might be every 2. Even still, it used to be every 5 for NXT.
But
and whatnot. So maybe it is every 2 because they're doing it not on a pay-per-view.
I'm fine if that doesn't happen, though, and I'm totally fine with them just having a match and doing that.
Maybe they will.
Oh, my
shit.
God, there it is. What if the turkeys hate us? What if they filleted us? What if they killed us and ate our children? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they filleted us? If the turkeys ate us, if they had to hate us, the Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart, but first they'd eat our nuts, and then they'd eat our butts. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they ate our fucking nuts? What if the turkeys ate us instead of mashed potatoes? Instead the turkeys ate us.
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, next week I think they're going to get their biggest rating yet. I think they really have the chance to do so. You got the Blood and Guts match, obviously. Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston taking on Kenny Omega, who's the everything champion, and knock it the fuck away from here, Zawa. Cody Rhodes taking on QT Marshall, so that'll be the final of that. The feud's over already, and then Britt Baker will be in action. We don't know who she's facing, so. Huge week for them next week. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 really solid matches, one of which is going to be probably at least an hour long, and their highest debut, highest rating is their debut on October 2nd, 2019. They had 1.409 million. I think they're going to get 1.48 next week. I think they're going to break that rating. So.
Okay, I'm going to go 1.1. AEW 1.19 something. I don't know. I'll go 1.2. Fuck it. 1.2. We'll guess it up. See you tomorrow for Out of Nowhere. For an hour on Out of Nowhere. Be here for that. It's only going to be an hour. Be here for it. And hit up the Patreon if you want a big one. All right. Jake DeMarco's back. Shout out to Soundwave 92. He's the top dog tonight. Hey, Shell, if you're listening, I hope you're okay, baby. Mwah. She's still hurting. Soundwave 92 kisses. Duncachino. Gatekeeper Drew. Derailing us. MJF and his pinky that he's going to stuff up somebody's bunghole. This was the AEW Dynamite review for April 28th, 2021. This is the Joe Cronin Show. You're all wet. Hit the like button and become a patron. And listen to my 33-minute podcast from this morning. You don't want to miss that because I was sexy. Good night.